To learn about the world, you want to be a revolutionary teaching people the truth, then you need to join Agitation and Propaganda Committee, Black Cameras Committee that tells the truth about the world that we live in. Email us today at bhagitationpropaganda@protonmail.com.
Lamb back, everybody. Did y'all see the new intro? Cute as
super cute
as heck. Lamb back and good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Chief Watakame. I represent the Coca and Navirarica people of Abya Yala. I represent the poor and working class, and I use they them pronouns.
Lamb back, everyone. My name is Minister Ren. I represent Panama and Colombia, and I have a petty blue background, committing class suicide, and I use they, she pronouns. I'm so excited to have y'all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Tiger. Good morning, Rose. Welcome to our Revolutionary Book Trap.
What are y'all drinking today? Sorry, it's a thing. Lamb back, Black Hammer defense. We're all on team coffee today.
Mm-hmm.
All on team coffee.
And it has cinnamon in it, which is really good.
I made some café de olla. Drop a lamb back if you know what that is. It was not, the coffee did not steep as long as it needed to. Ooh, Earl Grey is one of my favorite teas. 100% because of the caffeine. That's it.
I also like it because it's kind of sweet.
It's kind of sweet. It's good.
Yeah. It's good.
But café de olla is something else, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Something else. It's a whole process. It's pretty good. It will, again, could have used more time, but that's okay.
Time is a beautiful thing that makes everything much more pretty and delicious. Okay, Lamb back, everyone.
I'm back, City Builder B. Round 2 of tea already. That's why it's coffee all the way.
Yeah, exactly. Coffee you get once and it's like, yep, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the day. Well, I don't know about the rest of the day. The next few hours, maybe.
Café con leche is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I do like black coffee. And I think with café de olla, because it has the pinoncillo in it, which is like brown sugar basically, and cinnamon, it's pretty sweet on its own. So I don't need any like milk or creamer with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I always have to have milk or creamer and also sugar because I love sugar. So
it's wild.
Like I almost put some more creamer in this and I did not need it. So
no.
Yeah, I do love my sugar. More so than caffeine, honestly. Like I can go without caffeine as long as I have some sugar. So yeah.
Okay, G.
Yeah, exactly, Rose. See, I'm not alone. Yeah. We need all the extra sugar for us, you know?
Black coffee just hits. Like it just gets straight to the point. It's still good. And you're just good to go.
I see, growing up, I never liked coffee. Like it was way too bitter for me. So then I was like, okay, let me try it with a whole, like a crap ton of sugar and a crap ton of creamer. And that's when I liked it because it was sweet. Now I'm like, yeah, I can do a little bit less, but yeah. Yeah. Ooh, sweet creamer. That sounds good. Yeah. I usually get, what is it? The French vanilla or whatever. That one.
Yeah.
Like a standard one.
I mean, the one we have is just brown sugar creamer.
That's pretty good too. Yeah.
The bitterness is kind of nice though.
No, I hate bitterness.
Kind of helps wake you up. Yes, thank you for the comment, and a reminder to share before we get started. Make sure to like as you come in. Drop your comments. We want to have a morning conversation with y'all. And share so that all of your friends and family and acquaintances can get this political education.
Yeah.
We can share this far and wide.
Mm-hmm.
So drop a hashtag shared once you've shared.
Put it into your family group chats, y'all.
Start some drama.
Yeah. Especially if people in your family don't like politics, then it's like, let me just insert that there. Ooh, okay, Sholo with funfetti creamer. That is another level.
That
You and I are about to be best friends.
that sounds like someone who doesn't like coffee, but is drinking coffee.
Is that not what I just said? It's 5 minutes.
That's like you want coffee that doesn't even taste like coffee.
I need the caffeine, but like the sugar is gonna have to make it work. With
Drink
the caffeine.
some green tea.
Nah, that's
Coffee's good.
Yeah, no, I'm good with I do like some of the bitterness, but it has to be with the
That's
sugar.
way too like empalaga. Like the first sip. If coffee's too sweet, do you know what empalaga means?
No, I do not.
So that just means when you like are too much sugar in your mouth and you get that like sticky feeling.
I don't know what that is.
That's crazy.
Probably because
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. I got the sugar that I needed.
Nah.
I do not see anywhere near as many hashtag shared.
For real, shout out to City Builder B and Arandano. Did I say that right? Yeah, Arandano. For sharing.
Where everybody else shares at.
Yeah, where's everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everyone.
Okay, Oju.
Okay, everyone hopping in on the trend. Go ahead and share. Lamb back.
I think we're gonna go into our trivia next.
I love this part.
Yes, who actually read? Oh, okay.
And what did we read? We are reading Materialism and the Dialectical Method by Maurice Cornforth.
That's such an awful last name.
I have to try very hard to enunciate. Cornforth. Please. Is this person, I was going to say something else, still alive?
No.
No?
Oh, okay. Well,
I was going to send an email.
you're like, are you okay?
You're like, why? Anyways, Materialism and the Dialectical Method. It's been such a powerful book. I do.
Yeah, and this is our last episode, y'all.
Yeah, it's been a good book. There's a lot of like convolutedness and a lot of reiteration, but overall, it's been very educational. It's been very fun to share it with y'all.
And learn with y'all too.
Yeah.
Like we've been learning with y'all. So
y'all's comments.
Yeah, for real. And y'all's read that backs.
Beautiful.
So good. But yeah, this book has really taught everyone, I think, like more about what it means to be a dialectical materialist, especially in an anti-colonial revolution. So revolutionary org. So that is, if we're going to win, we have to use dialectical materialism to win, right? Like we have to be scientific with how we're moving. And that's what this book is about.
And I honestly think these last two chapters like laid it out.
It's
probably the best.
Yeah, honestly, it was the most summarized chapters.
Yeah, but I think it was important because of dialectics, right? Yeah. To look back and see like all of the theories that people have thought were going to lead us to liberation and things like that. And like see the contradictions in them, right? And like move forward and things like that.
I like Red's comment that cornhole was
negated
into a higher and more advanced form.
That's how you know someone read. Red did the reading.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah, and it is a positive negation. A sentence. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the fundraising. As y'all know, Southern Louisiana has not please. Black Hammer Defense, relax. Anyways, the people of southern Louisiana are still struggling and fighting to rebuild after Hurricane Ida and the numerous storms that have happened since then. They've been hit by thunderstorm after thunderstorm after thunderstorm. The ground just cannot dry because it keeps flooding. So because of that, we are going back very soon. We're going to be going back to Louisiana to help the people, not just in a material charity politic way, but to build their self-determination, to have a lasting impact, to teach the masses that they are what they need, right? And we're gonna look in the book even all of the contradictions that lead up to this breaking point where they can start building for themselves. And that's what we're trying to do. So our goal for today's episode is $500.
Let's end strong, y'all.
Let's end strong. Let's do it for the people of NOLA. They deserve so much more than $500. And I know that y'all can do it. And if you can't, just keep sharing because someone else can.
Yes.
Okay, Lamb Back Red, thank you for the $30 for the people of NOLA. It'll go towards food, towards resources, towards providing life-saving trainings. Because we're trying to like really build something lasting there.
And we're not just going to NOLA, right? Like we're going to even places outside of NOLA, like in the areas that were severely impacted, like Laplace, where they had so many people needing rescues. Like they need it was so flooded. If you don't know the geography, is it geography? I was like about to say geology, y'all. If you don't know the geography of southern Louisiana, I did not know it either until Ida happened. And right above southern Louisiana, right above New Orleans is Laplace, which is right next to both a river and also a lake. And between so when big storms happen, the flooding is incredible. Like it takes over the entire area. And unfortunately, that happened with Ida as well. And it was like throughout the entire first night that Ida was hitting. People were on Twitter asking for help. People were on Facebook asking for help. Like, hey, dropping their addresses and being like, this many people, this many this many pets. This one has a medical condition. Here's the address. Like, someone please send a boat. And the first few hours of that happening, they weren't able to go out because the boats would have been flipped over. So then people were just sitting there waiting. And fortunately, a majority of the people were rescued. They were everyone, pretty much the entire town, it sounds like, was evacuated overnight or throughout the next day. But it was, that first day I was up trying to send help to these people, trying to fill out forms because their phones were dying.
Yep.
And now, even now, there are still sections of southern Louisiana that are without power. There are still sections of Louisiana that are without access to food, readily fresh access to food. Isn't just canned beans and canned goods. So we need resources, y'all. We need resources to get them that food, to get them that be able to build their own power, right? And to get them even a supply list of oh, here's where you can get fresh food regularly. They don't even know. Some people don't even know that part. Oh, this is where I can go get some good, some tarps or some things regularly. So making sure that they have that. But yeah, I also want to shout out Chief Oju for the $20. Comrade G or Chief G with $30 on it too. Land back. And Chief Amalicha with the $5 on it. Thank you so much. Make sure that y'all keep donating.
Send land back, and salute to Yabe for sharing the 40 times, right? If you can't donate, share the times that you would like to donate, because every share is someone's going to see it, and that's a possible dollar, right? So shout out for the 40 shares as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Who's gonna match Yahweh with all those shares? If you're not donating, then drop the share amount that you got.
So I think we can push it.
But I do see a question very quick for the donation link. If you have Cash App, you can send resources there to hashtag Rebuild NOLA. Thank you, Black Hammer, for dropping that information. But yeah,
you can also donate on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to blackhammer.org, there will be donation guides to donate. If you can use your card or anything like that. So blackhammer.org to donate as well.
And make sure to just add a little note for Rebuild NOLA or something on that. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Laying back, y'all.
So now let's go to the trivia. I love this part. Love this part.
Who did the reading?
It's the teacher in me, I think.
Earlier, I asked what the answer was just to make sure that I knew the right answer. And I swear to y'all, I did say the right one, but this one over here was no, you said the wrong one. No. And I was no, I definitely did. So anyway, make sure that you know what the answer is and that you type it correctly.
The question is, in any process, it says that we must understand the A, reason and goal, B, beginning and ending, C, moral and consequence, and D, basic and principal contradictions. Okay, Yahweh came in quick.
Yes.
Yahweh first again with the answer D, red, followed up quickly. Comrade G also dropping the D. Red, please. Please.
Yup. Okay, Oju.
Oju coming in late again. Oh, Red, relax.
God. But yeah, what is the answer? Make sure to drop your guess. If you don't know, drop your guess. Don't be copying everyone. You don't know if D is the right answer. Okay.
Either way, if you're right, you donate $5 or share 5 times, and if you're wrong, it's just 10.
Yeah. Just add a little bit more.
Exactly. Oh, with the late answers. Copies. Copycats.
God. For these, I always wanted to play the little jingle from.
I know the Jeopardy one. Yeah,
that
same.
thing. Yep.
Same. Okay, let's go. Okay. I think we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready for the answer.
Oh, there it is. There's no drum roll. Comrade Ruth is correct. The answer is D, basic and principal contradictions. We're gonna get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So Lamback, remember, if you were correct, to share or donate $5 more. And if you were wrong, or if you didn't answer, it's 10.
Yeah.
And why didn't you answer? Did you not do the reading, or did you not trust yourself? Either way, it's 10.
You know how on the SAT you're supposed to answer no matter if you think it's wrong, because if it's wrong, then it's either way it's the same amount of points.
But you could be right if you guess.
Exactly. It's better to guess.
They tell you,
and some of y'all did not guess.
Although if you follow what they tell you, which is to guess C, because statistically it's correct, most of the times you would have been wrong anyway. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. We're gonna start with the read that back. I believe, who's this first? Yours?
I think mine is. At least chronologically.
Oh, mine is.
All right.
Yeah, it's on page 114. Oh, correct. It's page 114 of the book, 117 of the PDF. And it's just that first half. So true to this philosophy, which they took from the capitalists, the social democrats strove to preserve capitalism with the idea that it could grow into socialism. And thus striving to preserve capitalism, they ended fighting not for socialism, but against it. These exponents of no struggle and class collaboration cannot avoid struggle. They simply enter into it on the other side. Comparing the dialectical materialist or revolutionary conception of development with this liberal reformist conception, we may say that the one recognizes and embraces, while the other fails to recognize and shrinks from the role of negation in development. Dialectic teaches us to understand that the new must struggle with and overcome the old, that the old must give way and be supplanted by the new. In other words, that the old must be negated by the new. The liberal, who thinks metaphysically, understands negation simply as saying no. To him, negation is merely the end to something. Far from meaning advance, it means retreat. Far from meaning gain, it means loss. Dialectics, on the other hand, teaches us not to be afraid of negation, but to understand how it becomes a condition of progress, a means to positive advance. Land back. Whew, that's a good one. I was having a hard time reading. I chose a dark color to highlight my book. Don't do it.
Not recommended.
0 out of 10. But no, this I think this part summarizes it pretty well, right? As far as the pushback that we get from development, from liberals, right, or sellouts, or people like, I think we talked about it a little bit on the last episode of like people who want to change it from the inside, right? They think that this change and this development and this movement forward is going to be smooth and easy. But at the end of the day, like these are the people who benefit from the old system, right? Who don't want it negated, because like it says here, they think of it as just no. They think of it as like you're going to cancel everything and start fresh, like start brand new, instead of like taking all the good stuff from the old system and bringing it forward with all of the developments of the new one that we're building, right? Like I had someone ask me once, like, how are we going to like move forward without all of the like the machinery that has been built under capitalism?
Yeah.
And I'm like, homie, we're not gonna destroy it. Like we're still gonna use it, right? But we're gonna use it for the good of the masses. We're gonna use it for the good of the planet. And I think it talks about I might be getting ahead of myself. Yeah, I think anyways, it's just so powerful because like negation, like it says, it's not just a cancel. It's acknowledging the good, right, from the old system, but more importantly, acknowledging the contradictions, right? And solving those contradictions means leaving that behind. And that is negation, right? But it's not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when in the old system, you're wearing the boot. To you, it's a bad thing to move forward. To you, it's a bad thing to develop. But it's just the way things go. Things are going to move forward. And like, that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to build this new system. Like we always say, the hammer builds the new, right? We're building the new system. We're building self-determination. We're building that dual contending power to negate colonialism, right? We're trying to negate colonialism. We're going to take its good parts. And by that, I only mean scientific developments, and things that will help us survive. Obviously, we're not going to go back to starting fire with sticks when we have lighters.
People literally think that too. Like there have been multiple people that have also said similar things where they're like, oh, like, so you want to go back to like the caveman days? I'm like, so during your caveman days, we were doing other things, just so you know. But also, no, we're like gonna keep the technology. We're just going to be using it in a way better way,
humane way,
in a more effective way, like a more efficient, if you will, way of like not actually like, you know, using it to dominate a whole nother, you know, like race or a whole nother group of people, but also in a way that's like not dominating the earth, right? Like not colonizing the actual earth. Like that's what a lot, like pretty much every technology that has been developed, like it can be traced back to is the colonization of people or the colonization of the earth. So yeah, we're not using it in that way. We would have to reverse it actually, and it would take time. Like it's not going to be like, oh, you know, done. We're now shifting everything over, right? To, within like a week, it would take some time to like have to do that, but it wouldn't be in the sense of like, oh, like working within the system to whatever, right? Like that would take
like
decades.
Like look at China's war on poverty, right? That was negating poverty, negating starvation. It took 5 years. It was a 5-year plan to negate that contradiction, right? Like it's not just
and exactly what this comrade said too in the comments, like they're obsessed with scarcity. Somewhere they think the old way is best we can all ever have. 100%. They really think that the way that we that we've been living, right, is the best that we think, like the best we've ever had, right? When in fact, like a lot of the advancements that this system has made comes from colonized societies, like these people didn't know how to bathe beforehand. You really think that we were building pyramids while they were living, like dumping their crap out on the street. So I'm so sorry. But yeah, like we have always been way more like advanced in society, making sure that society was working together to like build like a sustainable system. So where's the scarcity in that? Like there is none. You know why? Because it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's in homeostasis. Like we're in homeostasis with ourselves and with the earth, like in those systems. So yeah, full unity with that. And I think there's also this fear. There's like old things will pass away and new things will begin. Like that's what QC said. Like there's a fear of like letting go. And to be honest, I do have a fear of letting go of things, but the revolution comes first. Like, and not only that, but like there's an excitement that comes with new things. Like exactly. It's like ooh, what is this
literally
look like,
the last sentence, right? Dialectics, on the other hand, teaches us not to be afraid of negation, but to understand how it becomes a condition of progress, a means to positive advance.
Yeah.
Meaning, when we move on, when we leave things behind, like it literally says, don't be scared. It's for the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're gonna move forward into bigger and better things. And that happens like cyclically through our lives, right? Is that a word?
Yeah, cyclic. Like
sure.
Repeatedly.
I've been saying words and I just
yeah, that's okay.
It's like I
made it up. It's okay.
I heard it somewhere. That language is faking me. Anyways, like we move forward, right? We've done that countless times in the organization, right? In the way that we work, in our processes, and things like that. Like it's just we move forward. We leave old processes, old formats, old things behind for the better. We take what we learned from them, right? And then we push it forward. We do that all throughout your lives. Every part of your life, you are constantly negating old self into new self, right? And you take those lessons learned, you take everything that was good and you acknowledge the bad and you move forward to something better. It's not a scary thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a necessary thing. And it's what's going to keep happening until we achieve the liberation of colonized people.
And that happens in biology too, like in just like science, like natural science. Like your body, I forget how many days. I think within like 21 days sheds makes on whole new cells, like all new cells. Is it 21 days?
7 years.
7 years? Oh, well, there's certain things. I thought it was 21 days.
It's 7 years.
Well, 7 years. That's why did I think it was 21?
Maybe there's like an organ that's 21 days.
Maybe it is. It might be your skin.
Maybe.
I think so. I don't know. Either way, yeah. I am self-critical. First, I'm trying to state a fact that I was not 100% sure on. But your body does shed and like create a whole new like system of cells, right? Like a whole new layer of cells. Apparently, every 7 years, like you have a new body every 7 years, y'all. So that's shedding the old, and rebuilding a new, right? And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like we have to also learn from even just what happens naturally. So.
Drop your read that back.
Yeah. I always everyone's read that.
I
back.
saw one from, I think, Corporal Shagun.
Yeah.
Way down.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Read that back. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. Great, simple, pimple summation of what dialectical materialism is. So it's on page 20. Dialectical materialism means understanding things just as they are, materialism, in their actual interconnection and movement, dialectics. Yep, that's it.
The whole book.
Yep.
Right there.
We're done. Flips the table over. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, we look at what is real, what is happening within, or within what is in front of us, right? This is my book, y'all. Little binder. And we actually see like what kind of condition it is in, and how can we make it better, right? And that's how we work as an org. What are the conditions that the people we are around are in, or that we are in, right? And how can we make it better? That's it. And not just we make it better, but help them make it better. Like, how can we, you know what I mean? Like, it's also this aspect of self-determination.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Unity. Yeah. F linguistic. That
Prescriptionism.
That one.
That.
Whatever. Exactly. So moving on, Chief Oju also dropped a read that back on page 113. So Mao Zedong, I'm so self-critical, I can never pronounce that correctly, pointed out that in studying any process, we must do our utmost to discover its principal contradiction. The trivia. This may be a complex task, since what is the principal contradiction in certain circumstances may not be so in others. But unless we grasp the principal contradiction, we cannot find the crux of a problem and naturally cannot find the method of solving contradictions. Oh, this was almost my read that back also.
Same. I also had
like
it.
full unity. We have to get to the root. We have to get to the root of the contradiction, right? And we understand that to be colonialism, right? Like previous, like Marxist, Leninist, whatever people stopped at capitalism, right? But as anti-colonial revolutionaries or communists or whatever you want to call us, it's like, but what bred capitalism, right? Where did capitalism come from? And it comes from colonialism. Like Mao says, having the very root of the contradiction is the only way we can actually start to overturn it. It's colonialism. To overturn colonialism means to overturn all of the contradictions, right? That's our point of unity number 3. And yeah, this is just such a well-rounded and like just like
another simple understanding of who we are.
Exactly. I think G said our political our whatever is that simple. Yes, it is very simple. It's very simple. It's literally just like overturn colonialism for the good of the colonized masses. Period. We have just 4 points of unity, y'all. Just 4.
We made it real simple for everyone, making sure that everyone understood what it is. But yeah, I also highlighted this. I was like, but I wanted to do a more sensitive one. So
y'all are coming through with these comments.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Lamb back, Moxley with the read that back. Let me check this on one of ours.
That's further down. I think it might be after mine. So, or no, it's before mine. Or yeah, it is after mine. So I think I'll do mine first before we read it.
We will read yours, Moxley,
just a little bit.
In a little bit.
In QC, yes, you got to solve, or Comrade Ruth saying that we got to solve the basic steps to solve the principal contradiction. Yes. Yeah. We got to see like what are the other kinds, the other things about the contradiction that we have to like figure out first. There are other smaller things that lead to the principal contradiction, right? And those smaller things will almost ignite or like build up to, lead to, right? Or not even. Sorry.
I mean, it's what we were talking about in the last episode, right? That the quantitative contradictions will lead into a qualitative change, right? All of those little things will add up into a boiling point where it boils and like it changes in quality, right? It's a new beginning. You negate the old state, the old quality into the new one. love full circles.
Yes.
So I used to think it was a matter of us having a better life, but I think failing to fully internalize and apply the principles of material dialectics, I'm not sure anyone's children will survive. Yeah, exactly. Literally negating colonialism, right? Negating the old is the only way that we save not only our people, but the planet. And I mean, to be fair, the planet will be fine. The planet will do its thing. But like we shouldn't have gotten to this point, right? So yeah, full unity with that. I think we can.
Yeah, good. I think my read that back is next.
On the same page.
Yeah, it was on the same page because it was just that entire section was just too good. Yeah, a little further down. When in the process of development, the old stage is negated by the new, then in the first place, that new stage could not have come about except as rising from and in opposition to the old. The conditions for the existence of the new arose and matured within the old. The negation is a positive advance brought about only by the development of that which is negated. The old is not simply abolished, leaving things as though it had never existed. It is abolished only after it has itself given rise to the conditions for the new stage of advance. In the second place, the old stage, which is negated, it itself constitutes a stage of advance in the forward moving process of development as a whole. It is negated by the advance which took place in it is not negated. On the contrary, this advance is carried forward to the new stage, which takes into itself and carries forward all of the past achievements. For example, socialism replaces capitalism and negates it, but the contradiction for the rise and victory of socialism were born of capitalism, and socialism comes into existence as the next stage of social development after capitalism. Every achievement, every advance in the forces of production, and likewise every cultural achievement which took place under capitalism is not destroyed when capitalism is destroyed, but on the contrary is preserved and carried further. Land back. So I chose this PE because the first part is really talking about how the system creates us. Like we've said that before in previous episodes, but like that is one of the things that really won me to this political line is that the system, because of the contradictions within it, because we are living like proof that this system is not for us, right? Like we literally see it every single day of our lives. The system creates us in that we are the new, we are the revolution. We are, as colonized people, we see what needs to happen, what, you know what I mean? Like we have to make the change because we are the crux of like, they have their boot on our necks. Like we see it all the time. And, with that, like we have to accept that and move forward with it, right? And like actually move to create the new, move to like join the revolution, right? To create a better system that we won't have to be, at the end of, right? And this also makes me think of Rebuild NOLA as well, just because we are. They are also experiencing, right? Like every single colonized person is experiencing this, but they're seeing it firsthand, the neglect that this system has, right? So they're also ready to be like, okay, what can we do, right? Like what can we do to like serve our community, to like make a better world where this doesn't have to happen, where we don't have to, worry about the next storm, whether or not that will be the one that takes our roof, whether or not that will be the one that actually does it in for us. They are ready for that. And that's why we need to go back so that they can, actually be like, okay, this is what we have to do. I want to read on what Comrade Ruth said. The old life, the old life we had, we need to change the way we were living and now live the way our new life is being set out for us, as evolution is pushing us to the people we are supposed to be. Yes, 100%. yeah, being in this organization for as long as I've been, the amount of like inner evolutions I've had to go through, right? Like the shedding of the colonial aspects, right? Because we're from the colony, like we've lived on the colony for as long as we have. We pick up on things that we have to shed all of those things, and we have to become more steeled. We have to become the people that we're supposed to be, right? The people, like the servants of the people, of the masses. So full unity with all of that. But yeah, so that's just the first part. The second part also talks about how, what we talked about, like when we talk about land back, it doesn't mean we're going back, right? It doesn't mean that we're going back in our advancements. We're going to continue to push the advances forward, but just use them in a different way and not in an abusive way with the earth. So that's pretty much all that I have for this Read That Back. What did y'all think? What did you think?
Yeah, land back. I fully unite. She says we are always in movement towards our liberation. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I only cut off my Read That Back because I was like, that's way too long. But no, full unity. And I think like to kind of expand on what you said about NOLA, right? Like, yes, they are seeing firsthand, but like poor working class colonized people see it every day. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, they were like, it's exacerbated because they were hit by a natural event that the colony is neglecting, right? Yeah. But our people, poor working class people, they see that neglect every day when they can't feel their feet at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Where they can't feel their hands anymore. Like, it's not something that needs. And like I promise the people of NOLA were feeling it and living it every day prior to Ida, prior to Katrina, and every day in between. Like our people live this day in, day out, like, and they understand, like I say it all the time and I stand by it, but like our people live the theory. Like our people inform the theory, create the theory. The theory is for them. Liberation is for our people, and like we are the masses, right? Like we are also poor working class or committing class suicide. And like that's it. Like they are the people who we do this for. Mm-hmm. It's not about individualism. It's not about like I want a better life for myself, right? Like, yes, obviously, like for me personally, right? I'm included in the masses. I am poor working class. Mm-hmm. But I'm doing this for my mom, right? I'm doing this for the future moms. I'm doing this for the señoras and like in the mercados. I'm doing this for every person that I'll never meet. Mm-hmm. But I know is out there suffering, right? Like these contradictions are not unique to any one person, right? Our contradictions as colonized people are universal. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like building that self-determination, right? Just giving our people the opportunity to see their own power is like it. Are you like, please, we make the majority of the freaking planet. Yeah. Like once our people have hope in themselves and in each other and unity with each other, it's over. It's about that colonized unity. Because again, our people everywhere and every day feel the neglect of the state.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what this conference said too is true. Like colonizers like have such a small world view that they have somehow convinced themselves that the lash won't come and hit them back 100%.
Exactly. Like they're so far removed from the reality of the world, right? Like we talked about that at the beginning of the book, where like only the oppressed can understand the world as it is, right? And when you look at Marxist Leninist theory, like it includes like poor white people, but obviously like that's different than being poor working class colonized, like a colonized person, right? Because we are the ones who feel the boot the heaviest, right? Because at the end of the day, the poor working class white people, the change that they want is they want to be wearing the boot. That's the change that they want to see. They want to wear the boot, right? Yeah. And if you don't, go to blackhammer.org/reparations, and we can teach you how to overturn, right? How to join the fight against the history of your people, against colonialism, which you benefit off of, even if you're poor, and things like that. Like white people have no real concept of the world. Like you said, the colonized understand better than anyone that the magic and perfection will come from our solidarity, right? And more than solidarity, unity, right? Solidarity is like, hey, I feel you. Feel you. I mean, you know, unity is we're in this together. We're going to do this together, right? Unity is so much deeper and so much stronger than solidarity. That's why we say unity. That's why we believe in unity over solidarity. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the sellouts, like the sellouts in this system are constantly, you know, just wanting a piece of the pie, right? Like what Chief Oju said, like, it's the poor saltines that just want a bigger slice of the colonial pie, but it's also like the sellouts that are like, oh yeah, like that's what I want. I want to build up myself so that my family isn't on, you know, under this boot anymore. But little do they know that they're still under this boot. They just feel like they aren't, you know what I mean? Like they just, you know, they can still get pulled over and shot, right? Like they can still get killed by this system. Their money could, in their quote unquote like fake power, can be ripped from them if they say the wrong thing, right? But you know, they continue to push for you know, that kind of fake power. So yeah.
We're gonna get started with some read that backs that y'all dropped. Yabe's was first for this section. It says, the chief problem is to reach such an understanding of society, of men's social activity, and of the development of human consciousness as will show us how to achieve and build the new socialist society and the new socialist consciousness. Yes. Land back. Yeah, like we have to work together, right? To understand the stuff.
Oh wait, I want to see what remember Shigun dropped that one a little further back. I want to see what that one was because we said that we'd get to it right after mine.
No, we did. That was a Moxley's.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we can do a Moxley's then.
Oh, so true.
Okay.
But I think that's because like that's the same pages. Let's see. Yeah, so Moxley's incorporates my read that back. So we'll get through these read that backs and then we'll read mine as well.
Oh, okay.
Same minds.
Yes.
She's a Moxley. You want to read on this?
Yeah. This is from chapter 10. At each stage in the process of development, there arises the struggle of the new with the old. The new arises and grows strong within the old conditions, and when it's strong enough, it overcomes and destroys the old. This is the negation of the past stage development of the old qualitative state. And it means the coming into being of the new and higher stage of development of the new qualitative state. 100%. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Like there's always, and that's like a constant thing that you can see in just nature too. Like there's always, you know, new things that are happening that will change how the ecosystem works, right? Like it will change how, you know, even like specific species work together and interact together. You know, that's part of evolution in itself. Is like, oh, you know, and that's how evolution happens, actually. Like when for example, I'm a bird person. I love birds. But you know, so when a bird, you know, finds a new tactic of, you know, doing something, whether it's looking for food, whether it's how to open up, you know, a nut or something like that, right? Because it is able to get more resources for its body, get more nutrition for its body, it will, you know, be able to have more kids, have more babies, right? And then also like teach their kids, oh, this is how I learned it, right? This is how I learned how to do this, right? And then, you know, that's how evolution happens is, oh, this is now a new way of doing it. And that negates the old because it's better, right? So even in, you know, nature, it happens all the time. And yeah, like Chief Oju said, growing gills ain't easy. Building a new society ain't easy. Just yeah, growing gills was also a whole thing for fish. I don't know that much about fish though, so I'm not going to go too much into that.
I know how to cook them.
Yeah, I learned a little bit about how to what is that? Scale them. Yeah, from my mom. That's about it.
I had a fish.
Season them. Oh,
for a long time.
yeah. I don't know if gills would taste good. I don't think you're not supposed to eat the gills. I don't think, like, because they filter out all the bad stuff.
It's like the kidneys.
Yeah, basically.
I thought the gills is where they sucked in the water from.
They do, but before they put it into their bodies, they filter it out. It's just like crabs too. Crabs, you aren't supposed to eat the gills.
I don't know.
Yeah. Small things. You don't want to get poisoned when you're trying to eat some.
These are all the new things that we'll need to know when.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure that y'all are sharing, liking, subscribing,
and continue donating to Cash App Rebuild NOLA.
Yeah, because we need those resources, right? Because we're trying to build a whole new society, like Chief Oju said. Like, we have to, if we're going to be doing that, we have to build.
Yeah.
If we're going to build, we need resources, right?
Because up until we get to that new society, we're still living in the old one, which it runs on fake currency. So yeah, just continue to donate to Rebuild NOLA. Even if you don't have funds, hit up your homies, hit up your petty boo besties. Be like, hey, can I borrow $5 for whatever, right? And give it back to the people. If y'all have galletas in your life, I don't know your life, hit them up. They should be paying reparations, and we should be getting those reparations, right? And the people of NOLA deserve those reparations. So continue to donate to Rebuild NOLA. Again, our goal is $500. And once again, you can pledge if you don't have it today, but you're gonna get paid next week, right? The 10th, usually people get paid. If you're gonna get paid on the 10th or this Friday or however your pay schedule is, you can pledge even $1. You can pledge $5.
Y'all should have just gotten paid because it's the third. So, right, the last of the month / the first of the month, and also in the middle of the month.
I thought it was like the 10th and the 15th, or
it's every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So towards the end of the month or the beginning of the month. But yeah, y'all, make sure y'all are donating. Okay, mountains are honey. I don't know.
No.
Oh well, we're gonna use honey instead. Okay.
Mountains are H word. Thank you for the 5. I don't think mountains get H word, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to know the story behind this name, but that's okay. I appreciate it. I love the mountains.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I come from a place with many mountains. That sounds like an old folk tale. But,
that does. That sounds like the beginning of like some kind of folklore.
It's from the Malpi.
Oh yeah.
The old wise man.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna become the old wise man? That's what you're saying.
Or the wise man is the one who says you can't, right? So no.
Oh, okay.
I'm the other one.
Yeah.
I'm the sons. For real though. Anyway, that's a good PE. Yeah. But yeah, I do love mountains. I grew up.
Yes. Chief O. Moxley coming in with the pledge for $20 this Friday. Yeah. Nasty.
Landlords is something else.
Yeah.
They will be negated.
Yeah.
Hard.
So true.
Hard. Yeah, everyone just paid the landlord, huh? Disgusting. Just wait. Negation coming at them hard. Exactly. #negate landlords. Maybe not so much in the positive way of development, but
I mean, it would result in the positive way.
So true. Negation either way.
Yeah.
Negation for the good of the people.
Anyways, I think your read that back is next, right?
Yes, and I'm actually gonna push mine up to just incorporate a Moxley's because a Moxley's like sandwiches mine a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Or starts a little bit before mine and then ends with mine. So same minds, a Moxley. Okay, so it's on page 123 of the book. 126 of the PDF. 3 pages, right? All right. So it's just like, I think literally just the sentence above where my original one started. I'll wait until it's up on the screen so y'all can read along.
Let me see where did Amoxie start?
It says many people are,
Yep.
and it ends on.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Got it. Okay. Ready?
I'm reading.
Get started.
Yes,
so we
my
can. Okay. So many people are even coming to believe that it would be better if we had no science, since its discoveries open up such terrifying possibilities for disaster. How can we ensure that the discoveries of science are put to proper use for the benefit of mankind? It is scientific socialism alone which answers this problem. It teaches us that we are the forces which make history, and thereby shows us how we can make our own history today, change society, and determine our own future. It teaches us, therefore, how to develop the science in service of mankind, how to carry them forward in today's crisis. Physics can show us how to release nuclear energy, but it cannot teach us how to control the social use of that energy. For this, there is required not the science of the atom, but the science of society. Land back. Such a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful excerpt.
I think this is my favorite one
I think
from the entire book.
I think this whole chapter is my favorite one too.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're science nerds, but
So true.
like it's so true, right? Oh God, we could go into that whole nuclear energy thing.
Yeah.
Because I've been
over here.
I'm not a physicist.
But
But exactly, like when we talk about negating the old society, right, which we've been talking about this whole time, it's taking the discoveries, it's taking the knowledge, and using it in a way that benefits mankind, right, and benefits the masses. And that's literally our points of unity number 1 and 4, right? Number 1, we can dictate or what happens with our resources, our scientific discoveries, our energy, right? We get the dictatorship. And by we, I mean the poor, working class, colonized masses gets to decide what we do with those resources because it is ours, right? And then, like it says, it is us, right? Point of view number 4, under the leadership of poor, working class, colonized people, who gets to decide that. And it's really such a simple pimple thing, right? Of we get to choose what happens. It's not the greedy colonialists. It's not the people who just want the earth's resources for themselves to create this like imaginary wealth which exploits everybody else, right? Like we get to decide what happens. Like using science for the people, giving science back to the people is such a huge step in liberation, right? Such a huge step in building that self-determination, which again is why we are marching on the CDC, right? That's why we're out there, because we're seeing that this science is not being used for the masses. This science, these resources are not being used to the benefit of the poor, working class, colonized people. That's why we're fighting, right? Even more than that, like they're taking away our people's dictatorship over their bodies and their resources, right? Because how is it our people are the ones producing all of the food, producing all of these things? It's our people who have been experimented on historically by the colony, like medical experimentation. And now because we are fighting back and we're asking questions, now we don't get to reap the benefits of the food that we produce. We don't get to eat the food that we farmed. We don't get to eat the food that we harvest, that we break our backs for. Like that's BS. That's BS. And for this science that could have taken just a little more time, right? Like you look at what like Cuba and China are doing, right? They're collaborating. First of all, beautiful. That's a whole different thing that we could get into.
That's colonized unity.
Colonized unity, right? But they're coming together for the good of their people, right? For the good of the masses of their colonized people, and doing research the way it should be, using science for the masses, for the benefit to end this pandemic, right? And what is the CDC doing?
Not telling people to wear masks.
Exactly. Not even the right masks. You know, like the CDC has been flip-flopping from the beginning, from the very, very beginning. Like it just, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Could go on forever.
Yeah, I want to say too, even the one section about like how we are the force, like I cannot stress that enough. Like it does not take like a special degree. It does not take superhuman powers. It does not take anything to be a revolutionary. It just takes wanting to do what is best for your people. Not necessarily what is best is like, oh, what you think is best, but like wanting to help your people, right? And just the basic way of like, oh, like what does my mom need? What does my family need, right? And how, not in a like a Band-Aid kind of way, but like what is the source that would actually make their lives better?
Getting to the principal contradiction.
Yes. And that is part of the Read That Back too, is like just really like, you know, getting not just to the root of the problem, but making it so that like every person has dictatorship over their life. Like even right now, like we have the choice whether or not we're in this or not. Everyone does. And that is the crux of this, is like you can do this too. Every person, like every time we go out to outreach, that's what we always say to people. You can do this too. We need people helping us, right? Like we need more people like helping us give out masks, you know, brilliant ideas. Like what do you see that you want to change in your community? Like we need people's ideas, brilliant brains, collective brilliance, right? And that is like what the beauty of you know, organizing with so many other like colonized people.
And I want to say we need the brilliance of poor working class colonized people, because again, it's the poor working class colonized people who truly understand the world, right? We don't need these petty boo people. We don't need white people to tell us what they think of the world, right? Or what they would like to see in the world. No, we need the poor working class colonized people, the people with the boot on their neck, to like, not even to inform us, right? Because we are poor working class, but to just that collective brilliance, right? Because no one person is smarter than the collective. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, we all contribute.
Exactly. And that's exactly what you were saying, right? Like we need people, and that looks differently for everybody. How you serve the people, how you serve the masses, at what capacity you're able to, looks different than how I do it, right? Than how everyone does it. It's not a cookie cutter thing. That's exactly why everyone can do it. That's why you can do it, right? Because again, we are the catalyst. We are the catalyst to that qualitative change in society. And it just...
Yeah. And even to relate this to even our office, like using science for the people. That is what the Ministry of People's Affairs is all about. Like using, you know, the knowledge that we can collect on how natural events move. Like you're practically a meteorologist or whatever, like tracking the weather. You're learning, what is that? What is the thing that you're learning?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Like the different how it moves, like how it like the
I have to learn how to convert. Not have to. I'm choosing to learn how to convert into like nautical miles and universal time. And I just because like it helps track storms better, because that's how they write it in the reports. So I'm trying to just be able to read it.
Yep. And I'm like, I don't.
And also, y'all, weather futures.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. Oh yeah, and that's an exact example of like not using science for the people. Like these people are using. Oh, you can explain it better than I can. Go ahead.
Barely. So the stock market is trash. anyways, y'all, these people, they bet on how much it's gonna snow, how much it's gonna rain in a year, like futures, right? They bet on it in the stock market, and then that's it. Like they make money or they lose money. Like that's it, right? It's so wild to me, and like it informs so much of like the crops, right? So many companies are informed by this. And so I know very minimal. That's basically it. Like
I mean, if you've seen what's it called? What is that show that we just watched?
Probably have not seen it.
No, the show we just watched recently, Squid Games. If you've seen the Squid Games, it's mentioned in there. So you know.
Oh yeah, futures are.
But the one nerd, the one guy.
But it's like it's on weather. Yeah, it's on weather, and it's on devastating weather, right? It's weather that kills
how many hurricanes are gonna occur.
Well, it's more like how many inches of water, how many inches of snow, type of thing. It's messy. I don't get it.
Specific.
It's very specific, and I'm trying to understand it more so I can.
Yeah, but you learning all of those things, right? Is you trying to learn the science that is oppressing our people, right? Like you trying to learn why is this happening in a way? Like, first of all, what's the benefit? None. And
like exactly, like it's me not only trying to understand it to like just understand it, but I want to inform the people, right? There's so much behind everything that runs this like colony that our people just are not aware of, and it's killing them. It's killing us every day. Like winter's coming and it's gonna be rough, and as our people die, these people are going to make more money.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes me sick. I can't stand it. And so that's why we do something about it, right? And y'all, Squid Games, I don't know.
Yeah, we started to watch it because it's been
everywhere. And it would just, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I have no regrets. Super important, like engaging. But yeah, using science for the people is like really powerful. Like you're literally I don't know how to explain it. Like you're taking the discoveries of the world and using it to serve the people. Like not even necessarily discoveries, but like just the knowledge, right, of how the world works, like and the background behind it, and using it to serve the people. Whether it is, through natural events, whether it is how to grow food in, throughout the winter, right? Those are all like science, like that's all science, but in a material way, serving the people. And that's what, our office is about, the Ministry of People's Affairs. But I really do appreciate this Read That Back for even just that, for so many things. It's such a powerful one.
So if you want to use science for the people, join blackhammer.org/join. If you specifically want to use science for the people, you can email bh-mpa@protonmail.com. Shameless plug. We're pretty cool. I think we do cool work, and like that's an understatement, right? We do life-saving work every day we talk to people who just want better, just like we do. So if you want to do that, again, it doesn't take any special skill. It doesn't take any colonial degree. It doesn't take anything but love and dedication to the masses of poor working class colonized people, or to struggle, right? To struggle for that. Like we're all growing, we're all developing, we're all going to have to negate parts of our old selves, like you were talking about earlier, for the better of the masses, to be better servants for the masses.
And honestly, it's such an honor. Like the more you grow, like the more, I don't know, like it feels good. Like it's like, yeah, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Like what better way to live than to always be leveling up,
And for me, it's what better way to live than to know that every day you are working for the people. You're working to improve lives, to save lives. It just to live collectively is it's all you need, really.
Mhm.
Like it really is. It'll change who you are. It'll change how you think, how everything, but for the better, right? Because you get to a place where it's more than just you.
Mhm.
It's more than just your own single life.
Yeah.
And it just, to live for the masses is the best way to live, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 100%.
join. There are other committees. You don't have to join NPA if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But we all do amazing work, from defense to agriprop to econ dev, like economic development.
Mhm.
We won't shorten that one.
Yeah.
Like they're all just amazing offices who just want to save and liberate the world.
Mhm.
Nothing big.
Yeah.
Just
Literally.
worldwide liberation.
Yeah, that would be great. All I want for Christmas is worldwide liberation. Worldwide liberation.
It's too early for Christmas music. Please.
I do love Christmas musical. Anyway, no, I do want to like really shout out this book. You know, in the beginning we were both like, whew.
Mountains are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
100%.
Still don't know about the H word, but
pretty awesome. That's pretty accurate.
Pretty awesome.
But no, this book has taught me so much. You know, in the beginning, like I was saying, like it was a little rough. We were like, "Woo, goodness, a lot to, you know, shift through to get to the meat of it." But the meat of it is, you know, gold. Like it's so good. Some of the stuff that I took from it is really just thinking. Honestly, even just the actual shifting through it is an exercise in its own. Like when you're reading and you have to like really interpret it, right, and like apply it to yourself and to your everyday life, that is gonna help me like be able to break things down to the masses, right? Like during outreach, right, being able to talk to people and break down these types of things to literally just everyday people. So even like, you know, this is another level of academic wording. I don't know why I'm doing this, but academic wording. But it is, you know, that is an exercise, right? It takes really just like internalizing it and, you know, breaking it down. And that's a muscle that my brain needed. So
yeah.
I
really liked learning just even the different theories, you know, as ridiculous as they were.
Yeah. That's funny.
But like I think it just really like it was a reminder that, you know, we are gonna run into our people with different theories, right? And being able to
we already have.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to understand them like materially is gonna help us, like you said, explain it to them, right? And educate the masses. And yeah, this last chapter really did it for me, y'all. It was a good chapter. Like it's even just like the conclusion section, right? Like the kind of like the end section of the very last chapter is a good summation. Like I said, it's a good conclusion.
Yeah. The 5 different sections.
Yeah, and I think it just really I really loved like you said, how much of this already fits into what Black Hammer is doing, right? Like we are following the process of dialectical materialism, and like being able to understand that on a deeper level, like you said, it's going to inform us of how to better serve the masses, how to better do the work in our offices. But yeah,
100%. Yeah, and I think also even just talking about even the shedding of the old into creating the new, right? Yeah, like that part really is fitting for where we're at as an organization, right? Like it's very fitting. Like we are creating a new, not only like a new way forward of how we move, right? Like how we serve the masses, but you know, we're constantly getting new comrades. We're getting new people in here with new ideas, with brilliant like brains, you know, and with different perspectives, and that is going to add to the collective brilliance that informs how we move. So yeah, and then we can move on. If you have anything else to add to like this, you know, what you learned from the book.
I mean, I could talk about that for a whole nother 4
Okay.
weeks. But
4 weeks.
but no, I really appreciated the opportunity to host this. Thank you for everyone who showed up and showed out every single week.
Yes.
And those of y'all who made guest appearances, that was cute too.
Cute.
Shout out to Yabe.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yabe been in here.
Day one,
Mhm.
first answers, all the shares.
Mhm.
And remember to keep sharing, even though it's over. Like the videos will still be here for y'all, and for everyone. And it's a good refresher, I think. And read the book; it's free on our library.
Yeah, go to the library. We have other books too, where you can learn other things. So, all of our book trap books are in there. So, you can. I think there's Malcolm X books is in there. And
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, make sure to check it out.
Move on to announcements.
Yes, we're wrapping it up.
So, every Tuesday, as y'all know, we have our Tuesday rally. The theme is More People, More Power. Again, October 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we have a cute little promo video to play for y'all. Land back. That was so powerful.
So cute.
All of the videos of all of us on the ground. Like y'all saw the street ministries rallies are on the ground, which is just so powerful. We're gonna be able to reach so many more people who don't have access to the internet, right? Who don't have access to stuff like this, but they are the people, they are the masses that we're doing this for. So I'm so excited to continue to see these videos from the street ministry, right? Until we can have our own.
Yeah, that'd be so amazing.
So yes, to continue.
Oh, we got the Vanguard. I wonder what they're going to be eating this time. Is it going to be, more mukbang? Is it going to be CIC's mom's cooking? What is it going to be? I'm excited. And they got some amazing aesthetics now with the candles, shining bright on their food.
You know what it's not going to be? Oh, juice food.
Oh, yeah, so true. We got that. So anyway.
Whatever it is, it's not all juice food,
which is really delicious. Anyway, so the Vanguard goes through so much information around all the different news that has happened in the past week and breaks it down in a fun easily digestible way. So make sure to come through on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern so that y'all can get that tea. So yeah, land back. And y'all, that is pretty much it, except for this last one.
A very important one. So as we talked about, right, the CDC is attacking our people's right to work and to live and to eat. And we will not stand for it. So Monday, November 22nd, which is when they want to enact the vaccine mandate, we will be at the CDC. Yes. We will be there talking for our people.
Yeah.
Talking for our people.
And fighting back against a system that is not, theirs to serve us, and also enacting all these, mandates. So we are going to be making sure that, make sure that you all are following us on all of our social medias so that you can keep up with this developing event that we're having on November 22nd. And make sure that y'all are, if you're in ATL, if you're in Atlanta, to come through, hit us up so that y'all can also come through and be there, because it's going to be historic, y'all. Like we're fighting for our people, because people are literally losing their jobs left and right. And from Cali to New York, like people are getting laid off because they aren't taking this
experimental
drug. So make sure that y'all are coming through. And if you have questions about this, also, hit us up, because we have a lot of information on this. So to break this down even further of why we're doing this, and also you can get information on that through our emails. So,
and although this book is over, we will still be here next Sunday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight, for the next series of the Revolutionary Book Drop. So we will be in the comments this time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who the next host will be.
I know we'll be preaching what we've been saying,
Mm-hmm.
And dropping our answers and all of this
Yes.
stuff. So we're so excited. So thank y'all for following us through this book.
Yeah.
It's been really educational. Oh, sorry, I'm messing with the sticker. It's been very educational. So yeah, again, thank you all for being here on your Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Have a beautiful day.
Make sure y'all are also keep donating, and appreciate all your comments. And shout out to the new people that came through. I saw some new people that came through this time. Land back. I hope y'all are part of the organization. And I hope to see y'all on Tuesday or next Sunday. So yeah.
Land back.